Hello viewers, Super GT here. Thank you for joining me for another video. Forza 7 this time. It's been quite a while. Do you remember the days when this was the main game on this channel? My god, that was a while back. Shout out to the real OGs who have been around since then. But anyway, it's been added to Xbox Game Pass. There it is. Therefore, we have a fresh batch of noobs to get sent to the Shadow Realm by, presumably. And let's see if that's all about to kick off here. Around Hockenheim, gone for S-Class, because S-Class is the best class, obviously. Right, through turn 1, a fairly liberal use of track limits from pretty much everyone, but that's par for the course around here. Coming into turn 2 then, and pretty much everyone's forgetting that we're turning right here onto the short circuit, but that's kind of normal, again. And looks like an episode of Police Interceptors here. There's this guy in the most American looking car of all time, shoving a couple of guys wide, but then the revenge hit out of nowhere. Simply beautiful if you're into that kind of thing, as he gets absolutely obliterated into the Shadow Realm. Now we've got this Lotus all over the back of us, and he's getting a little bit feisty there. His other Lotus getting acquainted with the grass on the right hand side. And net result here at the end of lap 1, as we round out the lap, we move up into 4th after all that. And my main tip, of course, is to embrace the chaos. Once you can embrace the chaos in Forza 7 and let it become part of you, then you shall do well. But you won't do well if you just drive off the track like Sebastian Vettel did back, when was it, 2018. We finished that one in 6th, obviously, and the common denominator I've worked out here is the lime green Porsches. If you see a lime green Porsche, that is an Xbox Game Pass noob. That's basically the formula. Is it a Porsche? Is it a GT3 RS? Is it lime green? If so, Game Pass noob, and you must steer well clear. Whoa, this guy coming in for a nice big drift. Why the hell not? And it's just an absolute mess. This isn't really a race. It's more of a destruction derby. Porsche coming back out of nowhere. Okay. As now we head down towards turn number 4 under the Mother's Bridge. Late on the brakes. This human centipede going flying off on the right hand side. They all seem to be more interested in each other than the corner. Right, coming up the hill. Difficult corner this one, as proven by that Porsche, who's had quite a bit of a race so far, it must be said. Spent more time off the circuit than on it. This guy braking about 50 years too early, and I brake about 50 years too late, in fact. So down through the corkscrew, we find ourselves in the magical position, as once again we can scan forward, and we've somehow got 2 lime green Porsches that have made it through all the trouble, presumably by maybe ramming their way through, or by starting towards the front of the pack, or for balance they were just really good racers and just did everything by the book and just got there on pure merit. Another option. So we're going to go past 2 of them. Oh, bit of contact, but we get the job done. Up into the first corner, well, actually officially the second corner, and yeah, just going to get driven completely off the track. And he might have that was 100% an accident. Yeah, that definitely was not intentional. Okay, 4th and final lap, we managed to catch up with Dirtman 6464. Go for a big late lunge. Didn't really mean to send it there. I think he just braked a little bit too early. And it's a battle of the Vipers here. Which one is the better Viper? We'll find out over the course of this final lap of this Laguna Seca race. Good to see Laguna Seca actually, because this track rarely seems to come up in multiplayer hoppers. But my goodness guys, do you remember the days when Forza was the main game on this channel, as we go for a massive lunge and actually pull it off somehow? But yeah, Forza, I mean, it's been a while since this was the main game I used to play, but times change, you know, and this game, it's a bit of a blast when you can play it every now and then, but ultimately there's not a ton of fun to be had. I think maybe now you need to be playing like private hoppers or leagues or something like that, rather than just stand hoppers. Right, starting on pole position, and that's probably quite a bad place to be. But actually, on this occasion, I get away with it. You see here the scale of outbraking themselves here. Pretty much everyone is going to a corner that doesn't exist further out, up there, wherever they're going. So, just your typical Spa turn 1, really. And I was quite lucky to get away with it. Managed to pull out the win there. Not much to be reported on after that first corner. Okay, Sebring at night. Gone for the Noble M600. Lovely, lovely car this. And we've got a rather good launch up into third already. Up behind the Lotus Exige and the Ferrari F50. Both good cars in S-Class. Coming up towards turn 2. Covering the inside. And, 9 times out of 10 you just get obliterated. And your defence wouldn't matter anyway. But actually got away with that time. Bit of a skim off the Ferrari F50. But we're pulling away towards the hairpin now. As the main aim really is just to nail our break point, which I've completely forgotten. This is what happens when you don't play games in a while. You see they're completely overcooked it. We're gonna have to take the escape road here and rejoin. Lovely little rejoin there actually. Look, had a little look over. Didn't crash into anyone. It can be done. It can be done, guys. Right, up the inside of the Lotus. Okay, that is a nice little move there. Ferrari into the side of the F50. And courtesy of Forza glue, we're going to get stuck to each other. Don't you just love to see it? And that's going to demote us down into 8th. But on the back straight here, look at the power difference as we're flying past this Spanish dude. And retake 7th. Now back onto the Frenchman in the F50. He's taking a semi-defensive line, but that's not going to stop me. Sending up the inside. Is he going to go for the reply on the way out? Sort of. Well, yes, he is. He's got the inside, and he just seems to have no speed on the exit. So we're going to take the position a little bit deep into the next corner. And he's actually turning into a good little ding-dong battle. Cut across there to try and defend. And we got the job done. Up into 6th place. And we actually managed to brake on time this time. Into the hairpin. Trying to catch up with this Lotus now. In 5th place. End of lap 2. Into Sunset corner. Difficult corner to get right. A little bit wide. We can cut back to that late apex. GG. There it is. And they're powering out to the outside. And I still don't understand track limits here. Why they don't let you just run the wall through the final corner and the first corner. But there you go. Forza gonna Forza. As Lotus, yep. This is the one thing I was noticing. Go for a move and they'll 100% always go for the cutback, even if it involves contact. So you do have to be careful about that. But this time here, getting the move complete. And we have a vague chance of hitting maybe 3rd here, as they do seem to be fighting side by side up ahead. They are 2.5 seconds, although by this point of the lap, 1 second ahead. It's like a McLaren versus a Ferrari. And we have less than half a lap left to go, in which to try and catch them up and maybe get 1 position. Maybe 2. We'll see. That was a bit of a rubbish corner. I say bit. I say actually it was extremely rubbish. Right, coming into this final sequence here. Should be able to go through here near enough flat out. And then on the brakes, much later, much more confident on the brakes than these two guys. As we then come into turn number 16 here. Getting a good exit is crucial. A little bit late on the power. Running the curb up against the McLaren. Let's see how good his straight line speed is. Not quite on a par with the Noble here. Let's come into the final corner then. Unless the Ferrari messes up, we're not going to get that position. A little bit deep on the brakes. McLaren back up the inside. I'm going to squirm a little bit wide. And actually, that was a good reply from the McLaren. His gamer tag is actually McLaren as well. Clearly a McLaren fan, and he's done McLaren justice there with that overtake. Okay, we're going to go for this absolute beast of a motor. The Subaru 360. Bring out the memes. Let's do it. Okay, pole position for this race at Homestead Miami. Which one of these guys is going to send me into the shadow ramp in turn 1? Let's find out. Off we go. Now this thing has about 1 billion horsepower and weighs about 1/1000th of a kilogram. So power to weight, very high, very difficult to control though. So you have to shift up very early. And as it turns out, we didn't get murdered, which is always a bonus I find in life. And actually my top tip of the day. If you want to live a fulfilling good life, don't get murdered. That tends to help. Thank me later. A little bit late on the brakes here. But this car it's all about acceleration. Brakes, handling, all of that stuff goes out of the window. Whoever tuned it obviously doesn't really care about that stuff. It's all about power here. This is the kind of track you need. This is a point and squirt track. This, get it through the hairpin and then point it forward, boom, unleash hell and say see you later to the rest of the pack. And yeah, this first lap here going rather well, extending our gap to 2 seconds here as we come into this final infield sequence. Rather technical area here. But with this kind of car, it's really a case of just not overdriving it. And it's very easy to do that, to slam the power down a little bit too soon. Back end gets round, and then before you know it, you've lost a second. Like I do here, just kicking in with a big old slide there. My tribute to Ken Block. And then a lap later, you see there, just backing off the power, getting it through there really nicely. Beautifully done. And in the end, it was a rather comfortable victory in the Subaru 360. We go from one meme wagon to another. The Jeep Wrangler, the Rubicon thing. Okay, so I have license to go on the grass because this thing is supposed to kind of do that, so I'm allowed. Okay, we've got another SUV on the right hand side here. Oh, okay, BMW out of nowhere. Let's see how this pans out then. We are doing the short circuit once again. Got the brakes nice and early here to make sure we don't get slammed. Oh, no, it's happened. Okay, can we can just pause it there. There's, wait, what, 5 cars there, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cars off. 12 cars off. Was that another one? Probably some behind as well. 12 cars off the track at the same time when there's only 22 people in the race. It's more than half the lobby was off the track there at that exact moment. You just love it, don't you? Just beautiful. But again, par for the course here at Hockenheim Short Circuit. So, well, I say Hockenheim Short Circuit. What I mean is every track on this game. Okay, unless it doesn't have grass. Coming up towards the hairpin, then infield, going for it. Oh, that didn't really work, did it? Trying to go for the move on the Jag, who was sort of half-heartedly going for a move on the Mitsubishi, which he didn't. Anyway, we continue. Are we seeing any lime green Porsches in here? I'm not actually. Oh, these two guys are going to have a bit of a dispute over the apex there of the penultimate turn. But their loss is my gain, up into 11th in the top half. Crossing the line to begin the second lap. The leaders are long gone. They're already 12 seconds ahead. But there is a big group up ahead, including an SUV. So if we can get the top SUV in this race, this isn't really an SUV, is it? But you get the picture. Coming in here, I thought I'd pass that guy, but obviously he had other ideas. Comes back up the inside, and unfortunately we're going to lose a couple of positions here. Mitsubishi running outside, he just gets round us. Where are those lime green Porsches? I'm not seeing any here. There must be more to this Game Pass malarkey. Maybe there must be other cars. I'm pretty sure that Porsche though is one of the first cars you get given. That's why everyone uses it. But there must be some others. We'll work that out at some point. Maybe it's the Jeep Wrangler. Oh, around the outside of this guy. I'm going to take to the slippy ice road on the right, on the left. Let's get my lefts and rights. Right. Okay, he's going to go defensive. Okay, well I'll just take the racing line then, my friend. Put yourself in a bit of a silly position there. So I'm just going to chop across, take the corner. And dummy this guy, go left. Oh, no, I'm going right. Thank you very much. I'll take the inside there. Don't get slammed. Wow. For the first time in the race, we're going to get slammed into turn 2. And it's looking until lap 3. Beautiful. And now up behind, what is this, the Infinity? See if we can get past him. He takes that corner a little bit horrifically. And Jeep Wrangler around the outside, as you do, you know. I'm sure Lewis Hamilton has had these experiences in his F1 car. with Jeep Wranglers going around his outside every now and then. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Okay, one more lap left to go. We're in 8th, but we have a shout of 5th, an outside shout, or possibly 6th. Let's see how it pans out then. Into turn 1. This car's actually got decent handling. It doesn't ride the bumps too well, as you see there, which is a bit of a surprise given its ride height. But there you go. Into turn 2. Can we get a car back on the Aston? It looks like we can. And this thing's got some power. Outpowering the Aston Martin is the Jeep Wrangler. Not something you say every day, but it happened. You just saw it. Okay, into the... Oh, Honda S2000, a little bit slow there. Can we mug him around the outside here as we head into the infield? He's given himself a really horrible entry to that corner, and we've just sold him for chips. We've just mugged him off big time. Can we go? Oh, he's going to do his best Sebastian Vettel impression. Can we go for one more place against the Ferrari? It looks like we can't. Although, oh, Aston Martin coming back in out of nowhere. We're going to take to the escape road and tell the stewards we were forced there and cut back. It's going to be a three-way drag race to the line with the Ferrari and the Aston Martin. We go 7th to 6th. It was close on the line, but unfortunately not quite enough for 5th. This time in the Porsche Carrera at Suzuka, and we're going to let everyone go and see the carnage unfold from the rear of the pack. And as we can see, we have 1, 2, 3 lime green Porsche GT3s, and therefore that spells trouble. That is more than our fair allowance of GT3 RS lime green cars in one lobby. You see them both off the track there. We get past them, we dispatch them nicely. Past this Ferrari into Degner 1, and what do you know? Another Porsche lime green GT3 RS coming back on the track straight towards the apex. Okay, as you do. Get past this guy and this guy in the Ferrari into 10th place, into the hairpin. And, oh, actually, we've done that all right. Let the car pivot mid-turn, get off the power. You want to coast on this game mid-turn. And then look at this, another example of Forza glue. Went for the space on the right, and I kind of got it a bit wrong. And I can tell you, I was turning right the whole time there. But physics, mate. Yeah, physics. Cones flying everywhere. Just the normal. This guy approaching a left-hander from the left, which is basically the opposite of what you need to do. Try to go around the outside of this dude, and everyone forgetting to brake for a big chicane. So yeah, we end up flying into this barrier. Lovely stuff. And I don't know where that lime green Porsche went. Maybe he was in the wall as well somewhere. But just scenes of just devastation, death, and you know, just a typical scenes really. Everyone dying of death, which is not advised. My doctor did tell me. We arrive in Britain, and I've gone for the big boy British car, the Jaguar XJ220. Let's see what we can do then. At Silverstone, 3 laps, starting on pole position. I'm not going to let anyone go this time, well, apart from that Chevy and that Ferrari, and almost that car. Was it a Ford? Okay, I have to settle into 3rd. Not the best launch, but hopefully our PI points are stacked somewhere else. Now coming into here, the lime green Porsches have developed into baby blue Porsches as we get slammed through the apex of turn 3. Around the outside of that Ferrari, absolutely mugged him off big time, and we find ourselves in 2nd place, trying to hunt down this Chevrolet. And if you want a top tip for S-Class, Chevrolets tend to do very, very well in S-Class. Quite a lot of them seem to be very fast in this class, so they're probably worth a shout. But you've probably worked that out by now, because this game is pretty much 3 years old. Well, I say that. You might be watching this as a Game Pass noob. You might have just got this on Game Pass, and you might not have any clue at all. In which case, get yourself a Chevrolet. They're pretty good. They tend to work. There's some brands that just don't really work in this game, but some just do, and Chevrolet is one of them. Okay, coming up to Magnets and Beckett's. See how the Jaguar... Oh, he's braked a bit early there. Although I must say, I think I've got the handling over this guy. He seems to have the power. And on the cutback here, coming out onto the hanger straight, he's going to edge him towards the end of the track, and he kind of backs out. And then on the straight here, coming up towards Stowe, he's definitely got the power advantage. You can see that. I'm going to defend and just pin it on the inside. Don't outbrake myself. Keep it pinned on the apex. Beautiful stuff. Wait for the power. And then we've done it. And now it's just nail this last couple of corners and then see if we can pull out a gap on it. And that's the main advantage I'm going to try and seek here. At the end of lap 1, it's coming through here. And actually, we've done it rather nicely. I think he's messed it up because if we look behind, there he is, 1.3 seconds the gap. So we've opened that up quite quickly. So once you get towards the front of the pack, then the races can actually still be pretty darn good in this game. It's just absolute minefield if you're anywhere near the middle of the pack. So of course the grid order is decided by a faster lap in the previous race, so it is worth always at least trying to get one clean lap, even if it's a slow one. Therefore you'll beat everyone with a dirty lap. But then also, of course, just trying to get that one clean lap, which is annoying, especially if you're surrounded by people who's going to get slipstreamed. And they do need to work on that not penalty system, but the dirty lap system, because it needs some work. But let's hope that is fixed for the next game, which is coming out. We have no idea when, but hopefully it's not too long. We're going to destroy this absolute beast of a car, this classic, by rolling it across the line. And as we finish this race, we finish this video. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. Forza is a bit of a weird one for me these days. I really am just waiting for the next game. I'm definitely looking forward to the next game, but this one come to the end of its life. But thank you so much for watching. Give us a follow, Insta, Twitter, all of that good stuff. Give us a like, maybe subscription if you liked this video. But I'll see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.